Hello everyone, welcome back to ErikaBuilds and another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are back in the world of Evergreen Harbor again, working on another apartment, which if you watched my last video, this is right next door. This is Stonestreet Apartments number 4. So in my previous video, I did Stonestreet Apartments number 3. And for that one, I gave myself a little bit of a challenge to only use the new Eco Lifestyle Pack plus base game. And for this apartment, I did not restrict myself, so I am using all packs this time. So it's a little bit easier and gave me more options for just like different kinds of decor and different ideas. So going into this build, the main thing that I wanted to do is I still wanted to use a lot of stuff from Eco Lifestyle, but I wanted the overall sort of like theme and color palette of this apartment to be darker. In number 3, I used a lot of very light wood tones and natural wood tones. So the overall feel of the apartment is very light and bright. So for this one next door, I decided to go with a lot of darker woods, darker sort of like wallpapers and flooring, and just kind of give this apartment a little more of a warm, sort of rich, dark tone. So if you want to use both builds, I think they really would look nice side by side, just to kind of give your Sims like a choice between the light and bright apartment or the dark and sort of rich apartment. This apartment is the exact same size as the previous one, so it just has 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. I did not use the floor plan that Max has created. I changed it just a tiny bit and I expanded the kitchen so it would be larger, and then I pushed the bathroom back into the corner of the apartment right next to the bedroom. And so that way I had a lot more space to work with when choosing cabinets and stuff. So in that number 3 apartment, I used a base game cabinet and just the very tiny little space that was given for the kitchen. So for this kitchen, it's a little more kind of long and narrow because I took out that extra wall between the kitchen and the bathroom. But it definitely opened it up quite a bit and gave a lot more room to have more cabinets and a larger dining table. So yeah, I just feel like it's a little bit better of a design without making too much of a drastic change. I started out with this very dark kind of orangey wood that is from Spa Day. And because this kitchen is kind of long and narrow and only has that 1 window, I was feeling like it was almost just a little bit too dark. I really like those cabinets in the darker wood, but it was just making the kitchen feel even smaller and kind of more cramped. And so I changed it to the lighter brown, which I thought just kind of brightened it up a little bit, still staying, with the dark, rich tones, but just not quite as dark. And then I switched the tiles a few times and ended up going with some Eco Lifestyle wood wallpaper in here. I mentioned this before in my last video, but we didn't get any new tiles, wallpaper tiles in this pack. And so it's very challenging to find an existing tile that matches this kind of theme of Eco Lifestyle. So that's why I decided just to go with this wood wallpaper again. And if you saw my video 2 videos back when I did that big house called the Old Mill, I used this exact swatch of the Spa Day cabinets in that house, and so it's very similar in color, if you liked that one. And so out here now I'm working in the living room, and I didn't really have anything particular in mind other than just trying to keep it sort of dark. The Sims that I was kind of imagining that would live here would be either a single Sim or a couple, who kind of like business professional, sort of like everything. The decor I feel like is kind of a little more nicer, a little more refined. So maybe somebody who has like a more of a professional type career, I don't know. But I wasn't really thinking of anything too specific. And of course, no kids. And I didn't include anything for pets either. These apartments are pretty small. And they're really kind of hard to work with because they're basically just a big giant square. And so it's not too easy to come up with interesting designs when you're just dealing with like this kind of like little square room. But I tried to give it some sort of feeling of some sort of theme. And I think the fireplace definitely helps warm it up. And there's lots of bookcases and stuff. I started out with a lot of black, as you're seeing now, with the rugs and the decor. And then I started switching it slowly from a lighter brown to then more of a darker brown. This living room was just kind of evolving as I was going along. But I wanted to leave all of that footage in the video just because I think it's kind of helpful. I know when I was first starting to build, I really liked being able to see the person going through sort of their thought process and like where it started and how it evolved. And so you can see where the colors are just slowly starting to morph from the black to the gray to the light brown, and then eventually to the darker brown, kind of orangey brown. I think I really liked it best because it matches the front door and it matches the frames on all of the windows. Oh, I forgot to mention, these windows were changed through the setting where you shift click on the mailbox outside. If you watched my last video, I talked about it quite a bit on how to do that. So it just gives you a little bit more of a larger, more modern type of window for this apartment, which is kind of cool. And so I wanted the furniture to kind of complement that. And then, of course, once I started pulling out all of these like warmer tones of wood, I didn't really like that black and gray rug anymore because it's a little bit it's a little bit too stark and not really like a warm feeling. So I switched it out to this one you're seeing now, which is from Discover University, which I felt like really matched the colors of the room a lot better. I have been missing a little bit from YouTube over the last like week and a half because I've been doing a bunch of projects here at home. Real life home projects, which are so much more difficult than doing them in The Sims. I was painting a bedroom one day last week, and it took me probably about 9 hours to paint the room. And I thought to myself the whole time, wow, I wish I could just be like The Sims and just choose the paint color that I want and click and it's all done. But this was kind of challenging because it was a blue wall and I was changing it to white. And so it took 2 coats and yeah, it just took a really long time. And so I've been doing a lot of projects like that and like getting some new furniture and stuff. And so I haven't really had time to play The Sims or make videos for you guys over the last week. But I do have some good news that I have some ideas for the channel. I've been working on some stuff. You guys are going to see very shortly some new visuals, a new logo. I have someone working on now who's doing the designs for me. And I'm hoping that by the time I upload again, all of that will be done. So that's exciting because I feel like I never really invested the time, to come up with any kind of like channel theme or logo or anything. So I'm really excited to see how that turns out. And then of course, as summer comes to an end and my kids go back to school and I have my life again, I want to do a lot more videos for you guys, and maybe not just speed builds, but maybe some other things as well. Right now it's very difficult because I don't really have a lot of alone time. I don't really have time to do voiceovers and stuff because my house is just chaos all the time. And I think I've mentioned to you before that I am a single mom, and so I'm the only parent here who can keep control of everything that's going on. And so it's been a little bit stressful, you know, that we've been these so many months of being stuck in the house and not having time to do the things that I actually want to have time to do. So hopefully, knock on wood, if all goes well, when August rolls around, I'll be able to get back into more of a regular schedule with regular uploads, maybe doing like some Let's Plays or some challenges. I'm really excited for that. Another thing that's very exciting is we are getting high-speed internet where I live this fall. So that is going to make all the difference in the world. Right now, it takes about 12 hours for me to upload a video to YouTube. And so we are going to have like regular high-speed internet finally after I've lived out here forever without it. So I'm very excited about that. So I think that's also going to make a big difference in being able to get videos up for you guys faster, and it's just going to be a nicer experience. So you can look forward to all of that coming this fall, and yeah, it should be really exciting. So anyway, I'm talking over this entire build, but as you've been watching here, I have been working on decorating the living room and the kitchen. You can really see how I've tried to make this living space as warm and cozy as possible with all of these browns and oranges and just really comfy sort of warm colors. Like I said, it's not pack restricted this time, so I'm using a bunch of different packs, which definitely I think makes the apartment look a lot nicer. But surprisingly though, you know, it seems like when I do restrict myself, the apartment will usually get a lot more downloads from the gallery, you know, whereas when I use a lot of packs, I know it's harder for you guys to download them because, you know, if you don't have all the packs, and then you have to worry about a bunch of things being missing. And so I'm going to try to do more of a balance of pack restricted and, you know, using all packs, just so you guys will have more options when you're downloading. Speaking of downloading, I think yesterday I hit 4,200 followers in the gallery, which is super exciting. Every time I log in and I see that you guys are downloading my houses or my apartments, it just makes me so happy. As much as I love, you know, sharing pictures on Instagram and uploading videos to YouTube, the downloads in the gallery just warm my heart because I feel like, wow, I built this and someone actually put it in their game and they're actually going to use it. So that's really exciting for me to think that, you know, there are people all over the world who would find some use for something that I made. So yeah, that was super exciting. And as for the channel, you know, it's been doing pretty good. I would just say, you know, if you have other friends who play The Sims, please, you know, share my channel. I think that would be super helpful. It's really hard because on YouTube, you know, they don't really like spread your videos around very easily. You know, they've got this crazy algorithm that they use to determine, you know, what people want to see. And so all the time I'll be getting messages either like in DM or in comments on my videos that are like, wow, you know, I've never seen your builds before. I've never seen your channel before. And so even though I've been around, you know, for a couple of years now, there's still all the time people who are just finding my builds for the first time. So word of mouth would be great. If you have other friends who play, you can send them over here to come and hang out with us. Yeah, so we've moved on here to the bedroom. And again, I'm trying to find some things that are a little bit more in the darker tones. This bed, which came with Eco Lifestyle, comes mostly in lighter woods, like natural woods, but it did have a couple of swatches here that were a little bit darker. So I ended up going with this dark sort of chocolatey brown bed with the corresponding dresser, both from Eco Lifestyle, and then proceeded to change the wallpaper in here about 10,000 times. In fact, here in a minute, you'll see where it does a time skip because I changed the wallpaper in here so many times that I had to like get up from my computer and take a break. It was just really hard to make up my mind and figure out what would make the most sense. And, you know, I really was trying hard to use the Eco Lifestyle wallpapers, and some of them just don't really look like a bedroom. So it's a little bit challenging. So what I ended up doing, like I said, I picked this kind of darker wood for the bed and the dresser. And then I ended up doing like a solid paint color, but then I accented the walls with this sort of, it kind of looks like a pressed tin or like a metal sort of wallpaper. You'll see it here in a second. And I think it was good because it kind of broke up like the design of having it all the way around the room on all four walls. And I liked how it turned out better because it kind of like framed the room. So you'll see the corners that are in like the solid paint. And then the walls, there you go. And then the walls that are sort of this metal, sort of tin, almost like a copper look to them, which I thought was really cool. And I liked how that copper looked with the dark brown furniture and also the dark brown flooring. And then I just pulled out some decor items that were also in these sort of like darker tones. And so this bedroom just ended up turning out really rich and dark, and I don't know, I just really liked it. So I thought it turned out pretty cool. The nightstands are from Seasons, and the rug, I believe, is from Get Famous, as well as the doors. You probably saw me flipping those around several times a few minutes ago. I had a hard time choosing doors because a lot of our interior doors are very traditional or sort of country. We don't really have a lot of modern interior doors that aren't glass doors. And so I ended up going with these from Get Famous because I just kind of liked how they looked, like especially the doorknobs I felt like really were kind of vintage, which kind of went with like the overall theme of like eco lifestyle, because I always think about repurposing, like, oh, maybe these were like old doorknobs that they found, you know, at a flea market or something. So I'm always thinking about stuff like that when I'm building with this pack. The bookcase I just pulled out, that's from Fitness Stuff, and I actually used quite a bit of Fitness Stuff pack in this build. The entire bathroom is Fitness Stuff pack, and I've mentioned before, if you like to do modern builds, it's a really good pack to get because it has tons of stuff. It has a really cool modern bathroom plumbing set. It has a really cool dining room set. The coffee table I love. The end tables I love. There's some really cool artwork. So yeah. And then of course, fitness stuff. It also has fitness stuff. So it has like, you know, a treadmill and weights and all of that kind of thing as well. So I really like that pack and it's very modern. So I mixed some of that in with the other packs that I was using. And then over here in the corner, I did like a little reading chair. And this you probably recognize is from Eco Lifestyle. It's like a repurposed chair, and put a few little magazines there. And yeah, so I feel like this is all, you know, really coming together. I I feel like it would be nice for like you could have a couple easily sharing this apartment, or a single sim, that would be fine too. I gave them a guitar and a nice computer. I did not put an easel in here, but it would be easy to add one. The bedroom's actually quite large. The only thing that I did not include is curtains in that master bedroom, because I could not find any that worked with those very bizarre windows. They're very low and they're very narrow. We don't really have any curtains like that. So I just didn't use any. Okay, so here I am in this bathroom now, and it's quite large, because basically I just cut the end of the bedroom off, and I just thought it worked out well that way, because then it gave the bathroom a window. In the original apartment, the bathroom is just an interior room, so there's no windows. So this is kind of nice because it lets in a lot of natural light. And the flooring here is also from Eco Lifestyle. I've mixed it with this Fitness Stuff Pack plumbing set, and then that cabinet between the sinks is from Seasons. So it's a mixture of stuff, but I really like how it turned out. I feel like it's very sort of like nice and upscale, which I think really goes with the rest of the house. And yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the build. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like this design? And are you planning to use it in your game? My gallery ID is ErikaBuilds. If you haven't checked me out on the gallery, definitely do so. I recently deleted a bunch of stuff from the gallery because I've been trying to kind of clean out some of my older builds, but I still have close to almost 200 things still uploaded. And then of course you can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My username is ErikaBuilds, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new, and turn on notifications so you'll be up to date with all my latest projects. I have a huge folder of houses that I'm planning to build once I get some quiet time to myself. A really big mountain home that I'm excited to work on, some more suburban like family homes, and of course I'll be doing more apartments over in City Living. I'm keeping track of which ones that we've already done and which ones are still left to do. So yeah, lots of builds coming in the future, so stay tuned for that, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I will see you all again next time with another speed build. Bye-bye.